Hello and welcome to my Game Week 10 predictions for League 2 this weekend. If you have been enjoying the League 2 predictions, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. And let's just jump straight into my League 2 predictions for Game Week 10. So we jump into the half 12 games, and the first one is Crewe taking on Notts County. Crewe been on a bit of a decline recently, only one win in their last 5 matches. That only win came against Chesterfield, which was a 7-1 win. Not really done a lot outside of that. North County, very inconsistent win-lose for them. Win again at the weekend over Crawley. Last time these sides did play was back in March 2025, and then back in November 2024, where it was 2-0 home win for Crewe in that one. It was an 0 draw back in March. Crewe have a pretty good record at home to Notts County, so you'd imagine they would get over the line in this one. I'm going to back Crewe Alexander in this one. I think they'll go back to winning ways. Home has been okay this season. They did lose to Barnet, I think. But yeah, I'm going to back Crewe in this one for a nice 2-1 home victory for the early kickoff in this one. And Crewe to beat Notts County in this one by 2-1. Oldham take on Barnet in the next one then. Oldham Athletic taking on two newly promoted sides, of course, taking on Boundary Park this weekend, who both seem to have picked up back-to-back wins for these both, or Oldham 3 wins on the bounce for them. Head-to-head record last season was a 3-0 away win for Barnet back in March, and it was a 0-0 draw back in November 2024. Barnet do have a good record at Boundary Park, so they'll be looking to win this again. Oldham have won 3 on the bounce. Barnet beating Grimsby last time out. Very good win for Dean Brennan's side in that one. I am actually going to back the away side in this one. I'm going to back a nice 2-1 Barnet away win in this one. I think it'll be quite tight. I think it'll be scrappy, but I think Barnet will get over the line. Another early kickoff in League 2. This is the last early kickoff, only 2 in League 2, of course. But yeah, backing Barnet to win this by 2-1 away from home. Now into the 3 o'clock as we go, and it is Accrington Stanley taking on Walsall. Of course, back-to-back wins for Accrington Stanley. 1-0 win over Colchester and a 2-1 win over MK Dons in there as well. Walsall beat Tranmere 4-2, drew 1-1 with Fleetwood, 1-0 win at home to Chesterfield in there as well. Accrington's last loss came away at Cheltenham, which was a really disappointing defeat for them. Accrington winning their last match against Walsall back in April earlier this year. It was a 0-0 draw back in October 2024. Accrington have got an okay record at home to Walsall. Are they going to beat Walsall's another matter? I'm not going to back it, unfortunately. I am going to back a 1-1 draw in this one. I think Walsall do actually look half decent this season, and that is why I am backing a 1-1 draw between these two sides in this one. So yeah, Accrington 1, Walsall 1. Bristol Rovers take on Salford then. Bristol Rovers drawing at the weekend after that brilliant run under Darryl Clark. Salford on a really good run under Carl Robinson. 4 on the bounce for them, winning in Cup and League respectively. Last time these sides did play was in the 21-22 season. Was a 1-1 draw. It was a 1-0 home win for Bristol Rovers. And in that one, I think that was when Salford got promoted from the National League, of course. So yeah, Bristol Rovers do have a good record. 10th against second Carl Robinson's side. Only second, 2 points off Gareth Ainsworth's Gillingham in there as well. I am going to back Bristol Rovers in this one. Might be a surprise, might be a shock, but I'm backing the home side in this one to get over the line. I'm backing Bristol Rovers to win this by 2-1 over Salford City in this one. And I think Bristol Rovers will get over the line. Maybe a bit of a shock to some of you, but backing Bristol Rovers to win this against Salford in this one. Chesterfield Newport now then. Chesterfield will be looking to win this after they've been on a horrible run of form. So have Newport. There are no wins for either team in their last 5. That's a total of 10 matches. It's very rare that some team hasn't won in there. It is 6th against 22nd. Newport just scraping outside the bottom 2, sorry. Are they going to bring Michael Flynn back? I think they did sack their manager, correct me if I'm wrong. I know Cheltenham did, but I'm not sure if Newport will or have done. I think they have. Last time they decided did play anyway was back on the 8th of March. It was a 2-1 win for Chesterfield and then a 3-0 away win back in October. This surely points to a home Chesterfield win. I'm going to back it. It'd be quite comfortable. I think Chesterfield will finally get on the line, over the line, back to winning ways for Paul Cook's side. Go back a nice 2-0 home Chesterfield win in this one. I think it'll be quite a convincing win. And Newport, yeah, really, really struggling at the moment, and probably our favourites to go down. So yeah, Chesterfield to win this by 2-0 over Newport in this one. Crawley take on Barrow then. Crawley, after really responding well in the league, they just go and get battered away to Notts County, don't they? Never great that. Barrow 1, Crewe 0 was their last result. Not a win for Barrow in that one, but they've been looking to do a lot better in that one. Yeah, 5-0 lost to Blackburn. That was in the cup though. 2-1 away, lost to Bristol Rovers. Last time they did play was a 1-1 draw, and then a 1-0 win for Barrow. This one's a tough one to call again because Crawley at home, they've had the record over Barrow of recent times. I think I'm actually going to back Scott Lindsay's side in this one. I think they will just get over the line and backing Crawley to win this. I'm going to go for a nice 2-1. I feel like I've gone for a lot of 2-1s, but I can just see Crawley winning this by 2-1 again in this one, unfortunately, for Barrow's sake. So yeah, back in Scott Lindsay's boys to win and start propelling themselves up the table, they would hope. So Crawley to win by 2-1. Next is two sides that are slightly out of form, and that is Fleetwood. And that is Colchester. Fleetwood losing to Cambridge at the weekend. Very disappointing loss in that one. Colchester drawing away, home, to Bristol Rovers. Accrington beating Colchester in there as well recently. Not been good for Danny Cowley. Only 2 wins, 1 win each, respectively, for these two sides. Yeah, Fleetwood 4-0 winners. Last time these sides did play back at Fleetwood, I believe, but they did play in League One back in League Two. What am I talking about? Last time they did play was a 0-0 draw back in November, and then it was a 3-0 home win for Colchester on the 15th of March. That's right. I don't know why I was going back to 2015 when they played in League One, but 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss at Fleetwood at Highbury Stadium. Danny Cowley, they haven't been great. I think this is going to be a scrappy game again. I'm going to back another draw. I'm going to back a 1-1 in this one. I think it'll be tight, scrappy, horrible. And yeah, 1-1 between these two sides in this one. Yeah, not really much to write home about in this one. So yeah, 1-1 draw between Fleetwood and Colchester. Now, tabletop was Gillingham take on Harrogate. Surely this is a guaranteed Gillingham home win under Gareth Ainsworth. They've been perfect so far at home this season. I don't think they've dropped a point. Have they dropped a point? I think, yeah, they have dropped a point, I believe, at home so far this season. No, they haven't. What am I talking about? 3 draws that has come away from home, but end of the day, that's fine. 2 points clear at the top of League Two. At the moment, they're looking good to go to League One. Head-to-heads, they did lose this game last season, 2-1 at home. 1-1 draw back in March. Bit of a big side, Gillingham maybe. Harrogate in this one. Harrogate do okay away at Gillingham, but I'm going to back Gareth Ainsworth's side. I know Simon Weaver's Harrogate are okay and can be quite good defensively. But yeah, I am going to back Gillingham and Gareth Ainsworth in this one for a nice 1-0 home victory and yeah, get a nice victory on the board. So yeah, Gillingham to beat Harrogate in this one by 1-0. Now to Blundell Park, where Grimsby should have a guaranteed win against Cheltenham. Cheltenham just sacking their manager, Michael Flynn, might maybe have a bit of resurgence in the next one. But Grimsby did lose 3-0 away at Barnet. A bit of a concerning loss, that one, for David Artella and his men. But they did go and beat Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup in the week. I think the draw for that is tonight or tomorrow. I know this game's on tonight. Grimsby, last time they played, 3-2 winners back in August 24. Haven't played in a year at Blundell Park. 1-1 draw back in March earlier this year. Grimsby have an okay head-to-head record. Event Cheltenham have only won the once, and that was back in October 2016, back in League Two. Yeah, it's been okay for Grimsby. They've not really done a lot. They did play in the National League in 2015. I am gonna back Grimsby in this one. Just makes sense, makes logical sense. I'm gonna back them quite convincingly. I'm going a nice 3-0 home Grimsby win in this one. Reverse the score of the Barnet result and get back level on that goal difference. So yeah, back in Grimsby to win this 3-0 over a very, very poor Cheltenham, who look like they could be going down this season. So yeah, 3-0 to Grimsby in this one. Shrewsbury take on MK Dons, and this might be the game MK Dons need to bounce back against Michael Appleton. Shrewsbury, MK Dons, with the amount of money they spent, still doing quite poor, and you can tell it's not the coach, it is the club's issue. 14th for MK Dons at the moment, really, really struggling down there, aren't they? Shrewsbury have played this at home. They've never played in League 2 before. This is the first meeting. They've always played in League 1. Shrewsbury have a pretty good record against MK Dons. 3 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. Last time they did lose to MK Dons was back in 2015. And I can see that happening again. Shrewsbury and Michael Appleton currently sit in the relegation zone, one of the favourites to go down. I said they go down in my predictions, and that is looking, well, it's looking okay at the moment, isn't it? Shrewsbury, I mean, at home, MK Dons, I'm going to back the Dons in this one. I think they're going to have a bit too much squad power. I know I say that every time, but they will. I'm going to back them 2-1 again. I know they've not been on the best of form, but I think they're going to win this at 2-1 away from home at Shrewsbury. Nice win. Thank you very much. And yeah, MK Dons to beat Shrewsbury in this one 2-1. Swindon versus Bromley now then. Two sides towards the top end of the, not the Championship, League 2. Swindon in 4th, very disappointed, lost to Salford. Very tight game of football, that one, wasn't it? In that one, Bromley down in 8th at the moment. They'll be looking to do a lot better. Only 1 loss so far this season, 5 draws in though, which is hurting them a little bit. Last time they played last season was a 1-0 away win for Bromley back on Easter Monday, I believe. 1-1 draw back at Christmas time at Bromley. No festivals on this time, or events, so they won't be playing around Christmas or Easter this time around. At the county ground, I'm going to back the home side. Ian Holloway usually has a decent home record. I'm going to back a bit of a bonkers game. They're always a bit bonkers for Swindon. There's always goals in them. 3-2 in this one. I am going to back Swindon home victory over Bromley in this one. And yeah, I think it'd be a nice victory for Ian Holloway and his men, and they can maybe get back in the automatic place of Swindon to beat Bromley 3-2 in this one. And the final game in League 2 this weekend, Tranmere taking on Cambridge. Tranmere on a bit of horrible form. Cambridge starting to click into gear a little bit, apart from 1-0 loss away at home to Oldham. It's been okay apart from that. 4-2 for Walsall against Tranmere. 1-1 draw against Newport in there. Yeah, drew with Forest Academy in the Papa John's, or oh my god, I'm not going to call it anything. Salford beating Tranmere in there as well. Tranmere won, Cambridge 1-0 last time they did play back in 2020 lockdown season. This is a tough one to call. I'm going to back a draw in this one. I'm going to back a 1-1, I think. I don't think it'll be very entertaining, this game. That's why I'm backing a 1-1 draw between these two sides. So yeah, Tranmere 1, Cambridge 1 in this one. Thank you very much for watching my Game Week 10 predictions, League 2 predictions. If you did like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. And I'll speak to you on the next one, which I'm not sure, well, I obviously do know, it's League 1 predictions tomorrow, Championship Prem, you know the routine now. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll speak to you next one.